Hi everyone, a very good morning. Welcome back to part 2 of this brand new launch from Carnation Crafts. You're watching Carnation Crafts TV. I'm Dave Bradford, and every second Monday of the month, usually, we launch you a brand new collection that no one else has seen, no one else has had the chance to actually buy, and you can only get it from us at Carnation Crafts TV today. And to say it's been a runaway success is the understatement of the day. It's absolutely flown out the door. It's called Chasing the Sun. I'm not on my own. The lovely Carla is here.
Hello, hello,
Miss
hello.
Tiz Taz is over there.
Hello.
Hello. That's your team for the next 2 live shows. This one and then 1 o'clock this afternoon as well. Have a little look at this. You've got a couple of the now infamous Carnation Crafts characters, a couple of little mice there as well that are doing their gardening. They're sorting out their blooms. They're planting a few plants, planting a few beautiful flowers and having fun along the way as well. This is called Chasing the Sun. Now the heartbeat of the collection, the main part of the collection obviously is this collection of dies here. You've got the most stunning, I suppose you call it a mandala, or it could be a coaster. It's just the most gorgeous. We actually said it could be a snowflake in actual fact.
Yeah,
for
you
Christmas.
could make it so many things.
Yeah.
You know, it's beautiful.
But it's stunning, and that is acting as the backdrop. If I show you this card here, for example, the archway and that mandala work together so beautifully well. It creates almost like a halo around the outside edge of it, and as a background, quite gorgeous. Just to give the heads up, Pam Simpson did this one. Nice one, Pam. But yeah, that's the main heart of it. And you've also got, of course, your pots. You've got your hanging basket there as well. And of course, you get the words love and also hello in that lovely font. So that's the first part of it. And then you get these. These are the pivot head florals. They're absolutely spectacular. And of course, the dies to cut out the flower heads and the stems and the leaves, they're all completely separate. But as you see down here, that cluster of smaller heads is a big die, so you can cut probably about 20 of them in one go through your die cutting machine, which is pretty amazing. Then, down on the bottom shelf, you've then got the tags, those ornate, beautiful tags. You've got the 2 mice that are just adorable there with their spades digging up the dirt. And then next to that, you've got your gardening essentials. You've got your water spray bottle, you've got your twine, you've got your seed packets, and you've also got your little snips to prune your plants as well. And the upshot of all of this is that it should be $123.95, but today on launch, if you use the code CCCS10, all capitals, CCCS10, you'll get that discount, taking it down to £80.99 for all of that. And just a quick word about the vignettes, the artwork. From now on, we do that the following day of the launch, okay? So don't expect it to be on the Carnation's website today. The artwork will be there for you first thing tomorrow morning. You can download it, print it off, and then hopefully your dies will be with you very shortly after that. Now, if you want to spread the cost, you can do that with ClearPay. You can also do that with PayPal Pay in 3. Now, let me show you the other dies that are also on offer, because a lot of you chose to go for the pop-up planters in the last live show. And when we came off that show, 40% of the entire stock had gone of the main collection, and half the stock had gone of the pop-up planters. We'll update that stock for you fairly soon. But they allow you to do things like this. And if I just hold this up to the camera, look at this. So the main collection just goes so beautifully well with these planters. Janine Dawson's done this, and you can see how 3-dimensional it makes the whole thing. So it goes from being a card to being an ornament, really.
It's just beautiful, isn't it? They're making such amazing things at the minute at Carnation. It's a really exciting time to be part of it, isn't it? Because the stuff they're coming out with is just so blooming clever.
Yeah.
And they keep going. They're so strong. It's just amazing to watch them. And I just say quick hello, Karen, Rachel, Lorraine, Jacqueline, Linda, Humberta's here, up early. Linda McLeod there as well. Shaz, Linda Poland, and Janet Reese over on the YouTubes. Hello, Janet. Lots of people have been relegated to different televisions and etc. because obviously footballs, and I think Linda is saying that her grandchild is watching cartoons. Lots of people on different platforms.
Loads
Dave.
on Facebook. I've got Karen Vincent here on Facebook. Hello again, everyone. Rachel McCourt. Hi, Rachel. Lorraine Marshall. Jacqueline Ward. Hi again, everyone. Linda Wilson. We've got someone in the Concalves Law Office up early to see this beautiful collection.
That's Umberta.
Oh, that's Umberta. Okay. And then Linda McLeod as well. Good morning, Carla and Dave. And Miss Taz. Missed the show earlier. Oops, I got busy and I forgot you were on. But you're here for this one. That's the main thing. So, okay. that is the main die collection. Now you can also, if you want to, go for the perfect papers. As ever, Nick and the team and Mark and everybody, look at the artwork, look at the colorways, and then produce stunning cardstock, 48 sheets of it, 300 GSM, in colors that are going to complement all the artwork. So no color clashes, everything's going to work together so beautifully well. And again, you do get the block colors, but you also get the beautiful printed elements as well, which is something relatively new from Carnation. Now, if you wanted to go for all of that, the pop-up planters, Chasing the Sun, and the papers altogether, that comes to $135.93, and it's on 3 ClearPay, or no, sorry, PayPal Pay in 3. That would be $45.52 over 3 payments, or if you wanted ClearPay, that would be over 4 payments. That would be $33.99. Okay, if you want to spread the cost. If you just want to buy it in full, or you want to cherry pick what you want, feel free to do that. The good news is, by watching us now live at 7 minutes past 11. You can enjoy free postage. If you're in the UK and you're spending £25 or more, it's free P&P for you. If you're in the US and you're spending $50 or more, it's free shipping handling for you as well, only for the next hour. 12 o'clock today UK time, that offer ends and we go back to normal. You'll still be able to get the main collection with free P&P because you're spending over £50, which is normal. But today, over £25 spend gets free P&P in the UK. Over $50 spend gets, of course, free shipping and handling in the US. And just to show you quickly a couple more finished cards to give you inspiration how to use them. Janine Dawson's done this one. Stunning, absolutely gorgeous. This one's really very, very simple, but very striking. And that's Vera Bow, who's done that one. Using your fantastic perfect papers, your cardstock. Look at that for an 8x8 card.
I love that one so much.
I do too.
Sandra Curtis, who's saying that she has ordered, but she's not sure if her card details have gone through. How can you find out? Could you pop Carnation Crafts a little email to customer services at carnationcrafts.co.uk and they'll tell you. Don't put it through again, just in case it charges you twice. So if you just give them an email and they'll help you out there. So
okay,
I hope that helps.
Brilliant. And if you've ever got any questions, that's the customer service email address. And look at that one. That's been done by Janine Dawson again, using the main circular die as the focal point there, and just having those wonderful flowers around the edge. Spectacular. I love the fact the flowers are completely separate, so you can build your own bouquets and that sort of thing.
It just helps, doesn't it? I like the fact that we're in control of it.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you've got those beautiful pivot heads where we can just pop those little dots of glue on and put them together. And I'm going to show you first, before we get into full demo, once I've done the boards, I'm going to show you how to put the iris together. So I know that you, as soon as you, because if the demos don't come till tomorrow with that one in it, I know that some of you will have it tomorrow and you'll want to get playing.
Okay.
Are you ready for the boards?
Let's do the boards.
Dave?
Let's show you what you get.
So let's have a look at Chasing the Sun. It's so gorgeous. Chasing the Sun is such a good collection. We have got the most gorgeous card shape. And we're going to play with this in the first demo. So we will be having a look at that archway. We'll be having a look at the little shelf and at this glorious, glorious mandala at the back. It's just so pretty. With this, you're also getting your hanging basket, you're getting your vase, you're getting your twine. We use it as a bow in the last one. I've used it as a bow on quite a few demos. It's just beautifully versatile. Gorgeous sentiments, hello and love, both of them on their own mats.
I know I said it in the first show, but seeing an arch like that always makes me think of like churches or weddings or gazebos, that sort of thing.
It's got that feel to it, hasn't it? But I love the fact that we can choose. So see how this is rounded out here? You can obviously use your nesteds as well. So if you use your big card shape and then the smaller one, you can create an aperture that way as well. And that will allow you to put it on, say, an 8x8, something like that. So you're getting all your different apertures coming in. It's such a great way of playing with it. Wendy Myhill, hi, tried to order the full collection, but it says $89.99. How do I get the price on the screen? Thank you, Carla. If you go to, when you're in the checkout, it'll say, do you have any promo codes? And if you type in it must be in capital letters, CCCS10. So Charlie, 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 Sierra 10, Carnation Crafts, Chasing Sun 10. So CCC10, CCCS10, and that'll give you a 10% discount there. So that'll take the price down for you, Wendy.
Brilliant.
So that is your main card shape, and then we are going to, I've got glue on me Wadgem and I don't want to put the boards in it. There we go. So if I just move this one over here, this is where your pivot head florals come in, and it is just insanely awesome. Look at this. So we're going to have a look at putting this together and then we'll go into full demo, but you've got all your glorious elements.
We reckon that's your iris and maybe a sunflower, or it could be a daisy.
It's a yellow one.
It's a yellow flower. Yeah.
Then you've got all your grass elements here, and these are so important for building. Look at all your individual leaves. If you want to make them fuller, if you want to, you know, place different things, you beautiful grass pieces, those gorgeous florals where it cuts so many in one cut on that die, that lovely big die. And then these are your pivot heads. So you've got all the little bubbles here for you to place the flowers where you want them. And if you don't want to put flowers on all of them, they still look like buds. So they're so incredibly pretty and useful. And you've got the long line one if you want to create sort of height. Same with this one. You've got shorter ones if you want to create sort of width and depth.
Carol Hart's asking a question. How long will the collection be on at this price?
Until well, certainly until tomorrow, because we've got a show tomorrow. I don't know, will they do it?
It might be until Friday. I'll get confirmation.
Okay. Taz is going to get confirmation. It could be until Friday. We'll find out for you, but definitely until tomorrow. You've got your beautiful labels here. So important. These are so incredibly important because we've got all the different sizes, beautiful shapes, gorgeous outline, isn't it? Really pretty. And it just means that there is a size for every single type of sentiment we might need to use. And I think that's really pretty because Carnation stamps, Carnation sentiment stamps are absolutely stunning. And some of them are longer line ones. You know, they've got sort of the one where it's about dancing in the rain. And those kind of ones are the longer ones. So, you know, you're looking at those longer line labels. And then you've got the tiny ones as well. Their sentiment stamps are awesome. Then you have got this gorgeous spray water bottle. Love it. Absolutely love it. These things are important. We're building the collection. We're going to have a die for everything in the end, aren't we? Because there's so much that they tackle. Your lovely twine here. I really like that as well. There's something whimsy about it. Your little seed packets and your snips. Really, really pretty.
Price will definitely go up Friday at 12 o'clock.
Friday at 12. You got until Friday at 12, stock permitting, and the stock is going very quickly. So I'd order it sooner rather than later, because if you go on Friday and it says, sorry, sold out, you're not going to be very happy.
You'd not be chuffed.
You wouldn't be chuffed.
We've got here, look at these two.
They're up to no good.
I love the Carnation mice. They're just so cute. You've got him shoveling and him confused, and this was me and Dave in the kitchen about half an hour ago. It's just very, very sweet. It's just really cute how he is throwing this over his head, and this one's just like, what in the name is happening? It's just gorgeous. Now, that's not the only thing that Carnation have got today. They also have another die, which is incredibly pretty and very, very useful. And Dave, I assume you'll have the details for it, Dave.
I've got it.
Pop-up planters.
Yep. Pop-up planters, 230807. All the dies you see on the left there is what you're going to get. That, of course, on the right is the vignettes and the artwork, which you can download tomorrow free of charge if you're buying it today. It's only $39.99. So again, that will qualify you for your free postage, because up until midday today, if you spend over £25 in the UK, you get free postage. Over $50 in the US, you get free shipping and handling. But they are a separate item to the main collection, but it complements the main collection so well. So most people are going for both.
Yeah, of course. It's just, and also because these are never going to get old, are they? Look at them. They're just beautiful. They create full boxes, so you can put all of your bits and pieces in. Flower boxes. There's so many ways of making these and so many ways of playing. Look at that. The dimension on that.
It's stunning, isn't it?
Just gorgeous.
It's an ornament. Yeah,
it is. And that's adding 4 of them together. So each one of these pieces is separate. This one's got 2 together to create the back and the front. This one has all 4, and they have been placed together. And then these stem lines that you've got here with the little scores, they are used to put layers inside. Really, really
I'm just
easy.
thinking, my dad, as you know, is in hospital at the moment, has been for a few weeks. He can't have any flowers in the ward, not allowed. So something like that on the little cabinet next to where he is, that's the next best thing, isn't it?
Of course it is. And it's got all the cheer, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And all the glory that we would expect from Carnation. I think this particular set, the pop-up planters, I think it's such an important die set. Not just for this collection, but because all your box cards are taken care of down the road. And also the fact that, yes, we use Carnation's artwork and it's incredible. But for other occasions where you may want it to be just plain, you can cut them in white. You can cut them obviously in any colour you want. But the point being is we have options. And I think it's such an important piece. very, very simple and easy to use as well.
Carol on Facebook, she says, tried to order, but it wouldn't let me. Could you do me a favour, Carol? If you just message customer services at carnationcrafts.co.uk, they'll sort any issues out. I'm not sure why you can't order it, what's happening. But CCCS10 in capitals should get you that discounted price. But if you're having any trouble, just email customer services at carnationcrafts.co.uk. And don't forget, remember, 60% now of the planters has gone. So the planters looks like it's going to be the first one to go completely. The main collection is not far behind either, and many of you going for both, which would make absolute sense today. But do remember, if you are wanting to stock up on all your essentials like everyday glue, if you want any of the tiny lights, if you want the everyday glue applicators, Pro Paper, Perfect Papers, all of that, if you spend over £25 in the next 45 minutes, you'll get free postage. So even if you don't want this collection, but you want other things from Carnation, have a little look on the website and take advantage of it. You've got 45 minutes left. Okay.
Right, so we're just going to put this iris together so we can see when you get it home how to do it, just in case I don't end up actually demoing putting it together later, just because I want you to have a little look-see at it. So I can't see you actually when I'm looking over there because the glasses only help when I'm looking down here. But you've got these pieces, so they're the elements to it, okay? And you can see how we've got the pivot heads on those, the greenery, so we can put the flowers on. These have got them too, so we can build. Clever, clever, clever. So the one that looks like a feather, and could be used as a feather, might I add.
Yeah, it could be.
I'm just going to place...
So have you snipped that?
No, these are all separate for dies because
okay.
we build them. It's like a pick and mix of florals. So that's that one, okay? So you can see how it's building up.
Oh, yeah, they're separate. They're all on one die, aren't they?
Yeah. Mm. So we're just going to place this here. It's so that you get freedom and you can choose
dimension,
how full you want it. You can choose how much decoupage you want to add. You can go your own way, which I love. I love. It's so important. So we've got the at the back. So now you can see how full that gets. And then we cover our workings with this little petal that sits forward, and you can have it facing you.
Isn't it? Little petal?
No, I've been called many things, Dave,
petal.
but nothing that nice. So see, we have this beautiful, beautiful iris. So it's super simple to put together, and I know you would work it out at home, but you shouldn't have to. And so I hope that helped if you make this at home.
B Mumby, hi B. She
Hey,
says,
B.
hi Carla and Dave, absolutely loving this collection.
Yeah, it's
Glad
gorgeous.
you like it.
Absolutely gorgeous. Right, let's have a look at this card shape, Mr. Dave, if that's all right with you, sir.
That's fine by me.
So I've got all my elements here. So I have got the little piece, the gorgeous, isn't it? Stunning. I've got this piece sitting here. I've got this piece where I've used the inside die to make my little shelf. So these are all the pieces that you're getting in that main card shape. I've scored at 1/2 inch and I've got red liner tape there. Then I've got my second archway. That's going to make me a card base, and that's going to sit there. And then on top of that, I've also got these two cut out just to add a little frame around the edge of that, okay?
It's good that you can have the archway with a curved bottom or a flat bottom. It's good.
Slap my good self, Dave.
What's your favourite?
Well, at this stage, anything that I can use. Just a bottom. Right, let's stop saying that on television, Dave. It's not 9 o'clock. Right. Let's just put this here.
It is somewhere.
That's true. Right. I'm just going to piece this onto hither, just to get it into place. Okay, that's just pretty, isn't it? You get that chunk, that beautiful chunk when we start layering, and it just looks so gorgeous. Now the next thing I'm going to do is place this onto here. So I'm just building, we're constructing, and you can see how this archway just looks so pretty and so beautiful. Like you say, Dave, it could be a wedding thing, right?
It could be, yeah.
It could easily have that to it. So many uses. I tell you what would look really nice. Was it the bird cage in Bohemian Beauty?
Right.
And you could hang that from here and it would look stunning.
Actually, yeah, that would look good.
Really pretty, wouldn't it? So that's got that sorted. Now I've scored this one at 1/2 inch. I've got my red liner tape on it, and I'm just going to fold that right back and burnish it, just so I know that this is going to move as I want it to. And I'm going to place this on it. That's got a fair bit of cat hair on that.
Yeah, I can see it from here.
I make no apologies, Miss
Well, I'm
Phyllis.
covered in your cat hair, so.
You are. Miss Phyllis was taking quite the shine again to Dave. Dave's her favourite human. I'm just going to lay. Then I've got this piece here. Now, this has got 2 score marks on either side, and we're going to fold them inwards and then inwards. So we create that box shape, okay? Same again, to the side, in, and then let me just poke that in and burnish, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to take some wet glue. You can use red liner, and do you know what? I probably would under other circumstances. It's up to you. The problem with red liner tape that I always have with stuff like this, especially under a construction, is there's no coming back. Once you've stuck, there's literally no wiggle room. So I've got a tendency when I'm using something with construction, I'll tend to go for wet glue, because as frustrating as it is to need the dry-in time, it's better than getting into a pickle. Now I've got my little box pieces there. This is the back of my card, and I'm just going to place it and make sure I've got it flat and straight to the edge on the bottom. And this is going to sit with a little bit of depth just at the back. Look how stunning.
Gorgeous.
So I'm going to use my pokey and just make sure that's adhered, because it is wet glue rather than red liner. And that gives me pretty as a picture.
Wow, look
card
at that.
shape. Isn't that stunning?
It's amazing.
Really gorgeous, right? There's something about it. It's just got that prettiness to it. But I've got the little shelf here that I can use to put stuff together. I just think that looks immaculate, doesn't it?
But
It's
equally,
so gorgeous.
if you didn't want the shelf, you could just snip that out, couldn't you?
Well, you don't need to use that die.
Oh,
That's
right.
a die you choose. If you want to use it, you absolutely can. You don't have to. That's the whole point. Is everything is about choice in this whole collection. Then I've got my gorgeous, gorgeous plant pot here. That I've got so many of these. I don't quite know why I was quite so effusive with them. But I have lots of them. So I can take that. I'm going to fold those box lines. Take another one. Make sure I've got it the right way round.
And don't forget, the vignettes are going to be available tomorrow on the website. Not today, but tomorrow. That's what we do now, the day after launch. So, yeah, you haven't got long to wait for your dies, and you've got probably even less time to wait for your vignettes. Tomorrow in the morning, they should be there.
I would imagine for the majority of you, if you ordered this yesterday or today, most of you will have that tomorrow. Carnation, do not hang about.
That's the understatement.
That is literally the understatement.
Picked, packed and posted virtually straight away as soon as you order.
I love their passion for that.
Yeah.
Their passion for the customer is just second to none, and I think it shows. And it's a joy. So I've got that placed where I want it to be, and again, I can use red liner or I can go in with glue. Bless you, Miss Taz.
Bless you, Taz.
And it's up to you which you choose to do. I'm going to go in with wet glue, but the thing that I'm going to do is make sure I piece it first on here. Okay, that's my first point. And then I will just piece a little bit here, lower than I know the plant pot is going to be. I can put it on there as well, but this way I know that I'm getting proper coverage and that it's where it wants to be. So I'm then going to place and hold, just making sure I'm lined up at the bottom so that nothing overhangs, because obviously we want it to stand straight. So then we just simply pinch, let that adhesion take hold, and then I've got my beautiful planter
And
sitting
it's so
there.
realistic.
And isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah, beautiful.
That terracotta with the white on white, that play on colour and that play on white space is so dynamic.
That's looking a little bit like a window with a window box now.
Yes, absolutely. It's so pretty, isn't it? There's something about it. Imagine if you paper pieced this. That would be stunning, wouldn't it? Be like a stained glass window. So I've got my little, what do you call them? Basket. This. You can tell me and Dave are keen gardeners, can't you? And I've just placed in some of those little florals and some of those leaves. I did that in advance so that I wasn't using your time to just glue those in, because we're using a few bits.
And it's well worth pointing out as well, those small little flower heads, the red ones and the white ones, they are actually one big die, okay? So you haven't got to put like 20 different tiny little dies on your plates or anything like that. It's one big die to cut all of them out in one go. So
makes life easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally.
So we're just rolling that round a little bit shaping. Now, I want pin flare on this because I've shaped it a little bit. But I've got a problem with that because where I pull this, there's holes, and that's going to cause me a problem. So very carefully, I'm going to take my pin flare and I'm going to place it on here. Watch this splodge everywhere, Dave, because you know I'm not the best.
I'm ducking.
Just let me put it somewhere else first. Hang on, let me get a bit out, because if a disaster's going to happen, it'll be me that does it. Wait.
Yep. I don't know where you put the glue, but it's gone
You look
somewhere.
like you just did it on the floor.
I think she did.
I've got a bin down here.
Oh, right.
So
Oh, perfect placement.
I'm just going to pop that thither and hope it sticks. It will. But I don't want to squodge it too much. Now, I still want the shaping on it. I'm not worried about squodging it in as much as it losing its shape. I'm worried about it going through the back. So we're just a little bit careful. But now you can see that that sits dimensionally at the back because it's through the archway. So we're working in layers. We're playing with height and with layers and distance and all the beautiful, gorgeous composition pieces. It's so pretty. So we've got that. Then we're going to play. Now we play.
Okay.
I like playing for a
Me
living,
too.
Dave.
And the mice have become such a huge part of what Carnation bring you. You've probably already got collections with the mice featured. And here are two new ones.
We
Playing with the
we
soil.
should definitely do some kind of long line picture with all the mice. There's so many of them. We could have so much fun. Right, so my florals. I've obviously stuck these two together in order to do a placement, and I've got this facing this way. So these just get stuck onto those little pivot heads. But the reason that I've done it this way, and I've got it on that curvature, I want it to curve around the arch, but I don't want it to interfere with the arch. So where this goes round and down, and I can cut bits off if I need to, I'm going to be able to stick the head of that at the top, and it's just going to give me a curvature.
Perfect.
As opposed to it imposing on the aperture of the card. And so it has a reason to be.
I mean, that style makes me think that's now a sunflower because it looks tall. It looks very, very tall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It can be whatever you want it to be, Dave.
Yep.
You can even call it Shirley if you want. It's up to you.
Shirley the sunflower. Why not?
Yeah.
Works. That's about the only thing I've been successful in growing.
Sunflowers or Shirleys?
Not Shirley's, no. Sunflowers. As a kid.
I don't even think I managed that. There you go. Karen Vincent, thank you to everyone at Carnation. Just had an email to say it's complete. Fantastic service.
Hey,
They're
good one.
really good. They are so good, Carnation. There's no getting around it.
Hi,
They
Jenny
are.
West as well. Morning, Carla, Dave and Taz. Hi, Jenny. Nice to know you're watching.
We're not on our own, Dave.
We're not.
I'm just making sure that's glued just under here. Just to place it through. And you, Miss Taz. We've got you, Miss Taz. Right, so composition-wise, whenever you're playing with a card and you're trying to work out composition and whether or not it's working, it's one thing looking at it face down, it's another looking at it face on, and that's sometimes where you're best going when you're working with apertures. Look face on and then put it back down again so you know instinctively where your eye is going, where you need to place your bits. It just helps in composition. So I'm going to place my little pot, and I think I might put it there or might put it there. I get to play and I get to choose. And learning these little tricks that we have with composition is incredibly helpful. So it will make more sense to me to have my little water bottle at the front. So I'm putting glue at the front, just on the bottom edge there. I'm going to take it in and pinch. Just
Perfect.
make sure that's straight, pinch it. Then I'm going to take my vase and I'm going to take my ball tool, and all of these have got, watch, without using a ball tool. See this? 1, 2, 3, nix curve lines.
See,
4.
that's
Can you
the
see it?
detail that you don't get with other collections.
1, 2, 3, nix detail lines. So without even the aid of a ball tool, I can create that bulbous shape.
Yep.
Isn't it awesome?
Mm-hmm.
Sandra Curtis tried to order both collections but couldn't pay. Help. Again, it's a Carnation email. Just drop them an email, Sandra. So customer services at carnationcrafts.co.uk. I'm sorry you're having so many problems. They will absolutely help you. Their customer service is awesome.
Yeah, they'll sort you out, no trouble.
Like, not sort you out in a bad way though, Dave.
No, in a good way.
Right, plenty of pin flare here. We've curved quite a lot. I need my pin flare line to at least be as high, if not higher, than the curvature itself. And that's what allows me to keep the shape. So I'm going to place that down here, making sure that that adhesion hits. And then, because we have no flowers in our little pot, this little mouse is like me going, why though? Why do I not have flowers? Why are they not growing?
That would be you and me.
That'd be me, Dave. That'd be me. Yep, you, me.
Scratching our heads.
That is me and you, Dave.
I probably planted the bulbs up the wrong way or something like that.
Yeah. Then I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to wet glue actually this, but I'm going to just roll that slightly onto finger, and then I'm going to wet glue here. And I'll wet glue at the back.
This is what I love about Carnation. They give you unusual dies and unusual artwork as well, where you get the roll of twine. I mean, that's what you'd expect to see if you're doing gardening, or the water bottle. Who else would give you things like that? And it's that makes every Carnation creation that you make different and unique.
It means that you can make things that nobody else can.
Yeah.
So I'm just diagonally placing that. So I've got my wet glue at the bottom. I'm just pinching to make sure it sticks, and then I'll do the same up here. So I want to hide the working, but I need it to not interfere with the card shape. So that's got that there. And then we're going to add some pebbles, and then I'll see if I want to add in to the mouse. We will see.
And the pebbles are in the main collection as well. They're a part of the... Oh, they're in the other one. Pebbles are in the other one. They're in the actual planters.
Yes.
Yeah, beg your pardon.
You're quite all right, Dave. We'll let you off. So I'm just going to place these in, higgledy-piggledy. There's a little rockery.
I mean, even the pebbles have got artwork.
It's nuts, isn't
Yeah.
it? They're just...
And remember, if you're wondering where they are, they're not on the website carnationcrafts.co.uk until tomorrow. We issue the vignettes now the day after the launch. So
a little bit more. Just add the extra one just down here as a little set of pebbles. And I think we can probably leave it at that. But cute,
love it.
Cute, cute.
Absolutely
now,
love it.
Turning that round, because the window box then gets placed out, and because the little sun line gets placed forward, look at that. Dimension, dimension, dimension.
Gorgeous. Well, the planter details are on the screen right now, and that's, remember, going to include, you've got your pots, various different shapes and sizes. You've got your planters, obviously, in, again, different sizes. You've got your mounds of earth and soil. You've got your little tags down there as well. Now, these, remember, if you just order this on its own, normally you'd have to pay £2.95 postage because it's less than £50. If you order it today, and right now, before 12 o'clock, so you've got literally 25 minutes to go, because it's over £25, you'll get and qualify for free postage. So that is 230807. If you're buying it along with the main collection, it's free P&P anyway, because it's obviously over £50. But for anything else, provided you're spending over £25, we've got free P&P for another 25 minutes on the website. And if you're in the US, there's free shipping handling for you, provided you're spending $50 or more. Okay, so that just is a perfect, you'll use this so much. These planters are going to be so handy for all the other floral dies that you've got already in your collection, but it just lends itself beautifully with this one. I don't know why I didn't see this card earlier on. It's been here, but I didn't see it. Sue Dalrymple. Hi Sue, one of the design team. Look at this one. Wow. Look at the dimension in this Z-fold card.
That's gorgeous.
Isn't it lovely? So just stunning. There's lots and lots and lots of potential. And then completely the other way, making a small little dainty card. Vera Bow has just done this one and used, of course, the arch in a different way, going east to west rather than north to south. And this is another one here I wanted to show you quickly. Jonine Dawson's done this one, similar to what you've just done, actually. What have you just dropped?
It was me doing the thing. Sorry.
It's all right. And then this one was similar to a card that Carla did in the first show, which you can watch back actually anytime you want. Vera Bow has done this one, so really stylish and quite simple, and using to great effect the main circular doily die. What are you up to? There we go, look at that. and that's Janine Dawson's done that one. So there's lots of ways of interpreting this collection, lots of ways of using it. I personally love the fact that the actual flower heads are separate, that you've actually got the stems and all the foliage and the flower heads completely separate. And the smaller one, just to prove a point, the smaller flowers is on that one big die there. So, you know, you haven't got to painstakingly cut each and every one of those flower heads out. It will cut about 15 to 20 of them in one go through your machine, which I think is a big deal. Now, remember, we're about halfway through our second show. There's another show live at 1 o'clock this afternoon with more demonstrations from Carla. But just to let you know, you've got about 20 minutes now before the P&P goes back to normal. It's free P&P if you're spending £25 or more in the UK and $50 or more in the US. Maybe you want the perfect papers. I mean, that to me is an absolute no-brainer, because you know, when you've got the artwork tomorrow, when you print it off, all of the artwork is going to be complemented by these colours of the perfect papers. We call them perfect papers, but it's actually 300 GSM coated cardstock, which is incredible. 48 of them, and you get a mixture of the block colours and you get a mixture of the patterned as well. And they're only $14.99. Add that into your order if you'd like. That's 230808. But yeah, feel free to have a browse on the website as well and see everything else that Carnation brings. Glue applicators, pro paper, all the things that maybe you're running out of or you've never tried that you want to give a go. Take advantage of the P&P situation.
And the deal of the day.
Oh, and the deal of the day, yeah, I did mention that. I mean, if you, we've got it here to show you actually. Is there a deal every day on the website?
Yes.
Okay. Well, today's deal of the day, I think you'll agree, will complement this collection really nicely. So it's the Carnation Crafts Right Up Your Street die set. So you can make your own name badges, street names, plant names if you want, whatever you want to put into those. So there is 25% off down to $7.49. That's the deal that's on for this day only, just for Monday. So yeah, have a look on the website and you'll see plenty of ways of using them. Wow.
So one of the things I wanted to show you was this, is basically when you start looking at this collection, this is what you get when you get home. That, I think, is extraordinary. It
I wonder
gives you
how
a
many
full view.
of our viewers do that, like die cut multiples and then store them and just
Yeah,
cherry pick
it's
what you
such
want.
a great idea, isn't it? Because it just means you can go and take what you want when you want it. But it's such a glorious way of looking at, you know, this whole collection. Your little pink and white florals down here, all the pieces. Massive shout out to Lynn at Carnation. Thank you very much for doing my cutting for me. You're a legend and I love you. But we have got so much here that we can play with, and this is where Carnation comes into its own, and this is where composition becomes incredibly useful, because when we're sitting with all of this in front of us and it's all separated out like this, it allows us to go, I want this, and then change that round. So it's a really good practice to get into. You can put them all in little separate bags, but it allows you to pick where you need to go. So I just wanted to show you that, because the value in this collection is extraordinary, and when you see it cut and you go, oh, that's what I'm getting, you know, this is where I'm going with this, it's extraordinary.
And just in case you're a newbie, all of that artwork, by the way, you don't have to pay for. It's going to be free from their website tomorrow. Just go to the downloads, paper downloads, and then vignettes. Just search for Chasing the Sun, and then all of that artwork you'll be able to print off tomorrow. Getting lots of messages on Facebook. Jambird said the gnomes from Beautiful Gardens would be a fab with this collection.
You missed the gnomes, Dave.
I did miss that one. Alison Ward says the website's a bit slow, but order does go through eventually. I've cherry-picked this time, but had to have the mice, as I have all the Carnation mice to date. It's futile trying to resist. I agree, Alison.
Very true.
Jan Bennett, I'm a Carnation craft floweraholic. And Jan Bennett says, love that storage, Carla. Where's it from, please?
It's from the Zon. It's from the Zon. Put in craft storage, tiered craft storage, and it will come through on Amazon.
Oh,
right. And let's 8x8 this. And let's look at using... So see how we've got... Do you know, my cats are just desperate to sit on everything that is a demo.
Well, it might be coming from me, because I'm covered in
Are you
Miss
covered
Phyllis
in Miss
hair.
Phyllis hair? Well, actually, they were sitting on my demos at one point. I had to shoo Miss Phyllis off. What was I about to say? It can't have been anything.
Alison Ward says, can she do my cutting as well?
Lynn is like the best human, and I love her to pieces. She's very funny, but she is also an epic worker, bless her. She's amazing.
I actually find the cutting side of it the most fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I love cutting all the vignettes. I just don't have enough time between all of the shows usually to get enough cuts. So she helps me in the most incredible way. Now, I apologise, everybody. We'll cover that up with the demo. What I want to look at, you know how you've got the, see how we were looking at when we create the box and we've got the layers that go in between to create. Even they have a vignette. When you see down here, these layers, these long line layers, they've got a vignette to them.
Okay.
And I was sat looking at them and I was like, well, what else I could do with those if I could still keep them flat for postage? You know how my little brain starts to...
But again, that's the attention to detail that Carnation give you, because most other companies probably wouldn't bother to do that, but you can see them from above, so it's nice to have them coloured.
So I was looking at them and I was like, well, they're really nice shelves, so I'm going to try something. Do I know if this works? No. Are we experimenting on air? Yes. But sometimes it's worth it. If the payoff works, it's worth it. So because I've got these tiny applicators, I can, without using too much glue in my little head.
Oh, living dangerously.
I am living very, very dangerously on the edge here, Mr. Dave, because this might not work, but I'm okay with it not working.
I reckon it will.
I'm going to cover up that splodge.
Ah.
So let's see, one and then down.
I think, yeah.
And then...
living on the edge.
I'm living on the edge, Dave. Like Bon Jovi, sort of.
He was on a prayer, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's similar, but just different. Then let's do this one over here. I'm going in randomly.
You are? You making those into shelves?
Yeah, let's try. Let's try. Let's see what happens.
Like floating shelves on people's walls.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. And I love the idea of it for clean, simple, and just easy crafting.
You'd have to be a bit careful if you're posting it.
No, because they fold flat.
Oh, they fold
Dave.
down, of course they would, yeah.
Dave, you made me do the things now, Dave.
Sorry. Oh, Jane Latos says, I'd love to see some wedding mice.
Oh,
That's an idea.
little mice getting wed.
In top
Right,
hat and
so I'm
tails.
just going to keep those held down. So let's see. One, just bear with me, Mr. Taz. It's pretty decent to me, Dar.
Yeah, that works.
Right, let's have a look. That's probably a little bit on the wonk, but I'm not too worried. Right, so we've got the first part of that doing. So now I've got some elements here I can play, right? So I've got some florals and I've got some bits of grass and I've got a little... I like this, Dave.
I do.
So I've got this on a 5mm.
Sometimes it's worth taking risks. So that's on 5mm foam pads, yeah?
Yeah, do I want that at the front or the back? Let's go down the bottom. This is composition at its finest.
Oh, yeah.
This is me sort of going as
Winging
I go
it.
along. This is what I love to do, though. So I've got elements. Where
Well,
do
to
we
be
want
fair,
to
that's what
put
most
what?
of us do at home, isn't it? Just kind of make it up.
Yeah. Now we could make that straight into a little sort of window box if we wanted to. That would be quite cute as well. There are so many ways of playing in the different elements that we've got, but let's build this up first and then we can see where we're going. So I'm going to add in a little bit of foliage just underneath.
I love that foliage.
I know, I do too.
It's only a small thing, but it makes a big impact, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
Mm.
Look at that. I like
Me
this.
too.
I'm enjoying my space right now. This is a nice little way of playing. Let's put a flower head in and we'll do a tiny little stem here.
Just thinking with that, one of those mice, you could have a little bit of fun with the water bottle. The mouse could be kind of
Spraying it.
spraying it, yeah.
Well, when I was on Hobby Maker the other day, we were looking at the collection Naughty But Mice, which I haven't used. I don't even know if I've ever used it, but it's got the mice that have got the ropes and the because there's a cake in that collection,
Right.
and it's as if they're climbing the cake. They've got a rope as if they're climbing up the little mice.
Right.
And I was just like, oh, how many collections could we use those mice in? Because they're so naughty and they're just so funny and cute. And I thought, right, okay, I need to get that collection out more and play with it more because it is beyond sweet. So now I've got all my little bits and pieces here. and I can begin to play. I'm not going to worry too much about placing a vase on each one, although that would be a really nice way of playing, but I am going to put some little piece of mud. Now what I'm going to do is just line it at the bottom with a tiny amount of glue there. It's too much for my taste. And I'm just going to place it just on top as if it's a window box. Coming through, and then I can place some of my little florals, or I could place some grass on there. Just let me get a couple of these daisies. Now the reason I was only placing it on the bottom is because I'm going to poke this behind.
Right.
So I can just shift that and tilt and get that to look how pretty this comes together.
That's great.
Sometimes clean is one of the loveliest ways to work, because when we work clean and we have that white space, everything pops, right? And because Carnation's artwork is so strong, we want to show it off. We're not trying to hide Carnation's artwork.
No.
We're trying to make it the showstopper, right? So this is when sometimes when we work with clean lines and we use less, we see more. And that can be a really powerful thing on a card.
But also, if you are a colourist or you like to colour things yourself with your pens, your pencils, paints, whatever it might be, you can always use the vignettes, the artwork, as a colouring guide if you want to do that occasionally.
Absolutely. Have a go. Where did I put my scissors, Dave? Right, let's cut into this and into this. And I'm just going to curve that round.
Alexis Macaulay, I think, is crafting along with us this morning. She says, "Hi, new card made. It looks good," from Alexis.
Ah, hey Alexis. I like it when people craft along. Again, just on that bottom line, because if you want to hide something behind, you're going to have to be able to pull the top forward. So I'm just going to place this in. Make sure I hit that spot. Just there. I love this. And then tiny little bit of stamp.
And you didn't really know where you were going with this at the start.
I had an idea at the beginning that I wanted it to be shelves, but obviously because I was doing it as an experiment, and I wanted to do it with you guys as an experiment as opposed to making sure from the beginning, because sometimes the idea of playing, and I'm not someone who's scared of getting it wrong on air, let's face it, I get it wrong most days on air. But the nice thing is, it's important for all of us to have a go at something that we're not entirely sure of, so that we can expand on how we craft. And I think this is a nice way of sort of playing with it in that way. So I hope you don't mind allowing me some time to play. Now, because that daisy is going that way, this one needs to go that way. Otherwise, everything is heading in that direction. And I need to rectify that just from a composition place. So let's put this one in just down to the bottom there. Now I may or may not have been better using a bigger floral here. Oh, I like that. Let's cover this up. This is where we comp with fun.
Okay.
Let's place that there because I've got a smaller space here, so I can use a daisy on this one. And the joy of these florals is we build, we control, we choose. So I've got that there. If I wanted to, I can place the big, oh, that's nice as well. I can place the bigger florals. We play and we choose and we decide. So you can see it one way, we can pull it in another way, we can shape, we can build, we can decoupage. I could have a little chap down here just making his way into the card. I like it clean and simple. I'm not going to do that. But the point being is you choose, you build, and we're in control of the construction in this whole collection. It's one of their most important collections as far as I'm concerned, because the construction elements in it give us the most control. But you've only got 10 minutes to get free P&P.
Yeah, exactly. Midday is the cut-off for the free P&P. It still will be free P&P if you're buying the main collection, because it's always over £50. It's free postage. But we've got an over £25 spend at the moment, gets you free P&P in the UK, and free postage in the States if you're spending $50 or more. But like Carla was saying, that you can make it clean and simple, or you can really go to town and throw everything at it, like Janine Dawson's done with this one. I mean, that is really stunning. Look at that display, that floral display in the background with a little tag with love written on it as well. You've got at least 3 no, two tiers of your planters, one attached to the other with the pot in the middle. But it's absolutely spectacular, that, isn't it? And then we talked about clean and simple. Well, Janine's done this one, which is very, very minimal but beautiful. And sometimes less is more. And this one's more of an ornament, really, from Fiona Abbott. So again, using the planter, and they're up to no good, but they're just adorable, aren't they? And again, another very simple one, but very effective, is that one from Vera. One, again, that's throwing everything at it. I showed you this a minute or two ago, but I just love that to bits. And that's Sue's done that card. Isn't that amazing? So you can stack the pots on top of each other. You can really go to town. So the main collection is called Chasing the Sun. It's 230801. If you do want the planter die, and I've buried that here somewhere, there it is. The planter dies, these are a separate item, and these are actually in the lead at the moment. Chasing Sun is very, very popular. But if you want these pop-up planters, they're $39.99, and that will be free P&P if you order it before 12. So you've got 9 minutes left before the price will be $2.95 to get that delivered. And also, of course, anything else that you want from Carnation, look on the website. Perfect papers there as well. Do you want to do one more demo before we
I've started just putting this together because we are running out of time. So let's get some whimsy on. So I have based my pinks. Look how beautiful they are. Aren't they just delicious together with that beautiful white border? Now, I've got my mud piles. I'm keeping them flat because I don't need to build height on these, although I can. Just bear in mind your shadows. So if I lift that and move my fingers, you can see the shadow that comes from there, which allows us to have that visual. But it's up to you how you play. I'm just going to long line it out and glue it flat for this demo. So just placing in those little pieces. I'm just over the edging on both of them at that grounding point. Let's build that picture from the ground up. Grounding devices, always some of your most important dies, because it makes sense of something that otherwise would not make sense.
Yeah, you don't see mice floating in midair, do you, very often?
Not very often, Dave. Sometimes some of the more athletic ones, but as a rule, no.
As a rule, no.
Right, let's get some height. So I want to build upwards. I'm using something, it's a rectangular card, but it's somewhere between rectangular and DL. I need height. If I don't have height, it's Tetris, remember. Everything falls down to the bottom, so we've got to build height at one point or another, just to be able to give us some visual. So I've got my piece. Look, I love that. I love that piece so much. That's such a striking element, that leaf. I just love it. It's like Jack and the Beanstalk. So I'm not putting any floral heads on this one particularly because it's going to sit at the background. So I'm just going to place small amounts of adhesion just right at the bottom and right on my top. That means I can lay it down to where I need it, and then I can place it and hold it. I can free line these off the edge of the card so I get my shadow plate on my pink, and these will sit forward so they also provide some shadow work there as well. Beautiful, really gorgeous. Now I'm also going to use this little bobblehead, and I'm just going to use one of them. And I get to choose composition wise, where do I want this sunflower to sit? Do I want it to curve that way? Do I, because we've got the mirrored vignettes, you see, so we get to play either way. You can have it that way, I can have it over this way, I can, you know, you get to play.
So it's not just back and front, it's left and right.
You get to shave it out. So I'm going to have my, get to shave it out. Why? Sometimes I wonder about my words.
Shave it out. Shave it out.
Shape it out.
Shape it out.
As my mother would say, a gob that big and she still can't control it. So I'm going to take this ball tool, I'm going to shape it. I want it to bowl, so I'm going to go in. You could do every single petal if you wanted to. Is it Mrs.
Mr. Love's watching us.
Malaprop? Who's there? There was a comedy show. Somebody at home, help me out. Malapropisms.
Malaprop?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Mrs. Malaprop. Somebody at home, she got all her words wrong.
Is that what it means?
And so you have a malapropism, I think they call it.
Okay.
So where's my bobblehead? Is here.
Andy Love's watching us.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, Mr. Love.
And it's like a hobby maker reunion.
It is, yeah.
With Miss
And just in
Taz.
case you haven't heard, that's where Carnation is now. That's their TV preferred partner, Hobby Maker. So check that out on Sky and on Freeview as well if you're in the UK.
So placing this over, I want it to just hang slightly this way. I'm going to pop that on. Look at that. That beautiful shaping. See how that comes
Stunning,
together?
isn't it? Yeah.
And we build it. We're in control. It's important. You can tell I'm putting everything together under here. That is very purposeful.
Nice that you leave it kind of free.
I know, but just play in. Hey, Beverly.
Hi, Beverly Ball.
Just
Nice to know you're there.
put in. And let's get some pin flare on this bad boy.
Remember, there's one more live show coming up at 1 o'clock, but remember the free P&P for £25 or more spends ends in 3 minutes at about 12 o'clock today. So anything that you want to buy, £25 or over, you will have to pay P&P on that purchase, unless you're buying the main collection, which will still be free P&P a bit later on because it's over £50. But the special offer on the P&P ends at 12.
So I've used one of those wooden shelves here to just stamp on because I like the rustic feel for it. It's like a pyrography, isn't it? It's really pretty.
Yeah.
And I've put that on a 5mm foam tape so I can gain some height so that I can measure up to the flower at the top. So my heights are all taken care of and in balance.
That's something you don't see that much of anymore, pyrography.
I do pyrography,
Do you?
Dave.
I didn't know that.
I love pyrography.
You turn your hand to everything.
I like to play. So I'm just going to put this down here. There's not many crafts I haven't tried, Dave.
You and fire, is that a good mix?
Nope.
Nope, no, didn't think so.
Have I ever burnt myself?
Yep.
So I can leave it exactly at that, and I really like that and I'm quite happy with it. But my alternative for those of you at home that like something with a little more, take your twine, shape it with your ball tool, pull your wings.
Perfect.
Cute, right?
That'll do.
So I will just very quickly, and then because I've got to feed Dave, he needs some soup. I've made him some chicken soup.
I need some sustenance. So does Taz.
I think that'll be the happiest I've ever been.
Homemade chicken soup
all
with
round.
some freshly warm baked baguettes. That's what they're having for their lunch. No, Miss Taz? She didn't want me to do that.
Chasing the Sun. £80.99 is your discounted price. Remember that code. You won't get the discount if you don't put it in. So when you get to the promo code part of the checkout process, it's CCCS10, okay? CCCS10. That will get you the price of £80.99. And remember, if you do want any of the pop-up planters or the papers, perfect papers, they're there, of course, as well. But you've got literally a minute or two to get that special offer on the P&P if you spend £25 or more. It's free. We'll be back with another live show at 1 o'clock, but check the website out and remember the vignettes, the artwork will be there tomorrow for you. So first thing in the morning, you can print them off and start crafting if yours arrive tomorrow. We'll see you though back here at 1 o'clock.